Hello everybody and welcome to another NECA 1/4 scale figure review. This review is brought to you by Collectables, part of the Keyboard Warriors group. Today we're taking a look at the 1/4 scale action figure Batman from Arkham Origins. Wow. Just wow. First thing you notice with this packaging is that NECA have done it very differently to what they normally do. They normally have just a head reveal there and an upper torso. They're basically taking the packaging from the DC Deluxe packaging for the Arkham figures, kind of like what you got with the Joker and Killer Croc, and they've basically blown it up. They've made it big, and it works. It really does showcase the figure instantly, so you're not left thinking, oh, what does he look like underneath, what does he look like? You see him, he's there, he's BAM! He's great. Taking a look down the side of the box, you've got these kind of printed out, almost like contracts for hire, kind of, we want Batman, these are the warrants for his arrest. And you've got the kind of pictures of the actual figure itself over the side of that, and I think that's a really, really nice touch. At the back of the box, we've got this really great pose of the Batman figure, with the big Batman logo here, Arkham Origins, and we learned that it includes 2 pairs of hands, a grapple gun, or a grapnel gun, a batarang, and a belt clip. And we've got a really nice bio here. Let's just have a quick look at that. Here you go, guys. Feel free to pause this at any time and just take a good read of that. It's actually really well written. On the other side, we've got more info and the warrant for Batman. We have the basic logo with the real toys and all the information about the wonderful, wonderful people that made this figure happen. But enough about the box, let's break him out of his plastic prison. And there he is, people. Wow, NECA had a field day with the sculpt on this guy. It's phenomenal. First things first, when I got him out of the package, his cape was kind of wrapped up in a polythene bag attached to the back of the box, this said bag here. And it was crinkled and it was kind of looking a bit pants, so I ironed it, but from me, take it from me, put a tea towel over the top of the cape before you iron it, because that's the sort of material that will just go and just disappear as soon as heat touches it. So make sure you put a tea towel over the top, iron over the tea towel, and it'll kind of straighten out all the creases in the rear of the cape. Before we get on to Batman himself, let's take a look at those accessories that NECA kindly gave us. Now, the first accessory that we have is the grapnel gun. I thought it was a grapple gun, but I did play the game, but I didn't really take note of what things were called. But it's very hollow, but sculpting on it is fantastic. It really, really does look the part, in my opinion. It's probably one of the best sculpts on the grapple guns I've seen. I like the Keaton gun, but I think this just about tips the scale. Nothing moves, but you do have a grapple section that we can just pop in the hole there, and these kind of just go in and out. Now these are a very, very thin plastic. I can see this joint here getting slightly damaged if this Batman decides to shelf dive, so just be quite careful with these. Now, to go with the grapnel gun, you get a belt clip that fits over the back of Batman's utility belt, and then the grapple gun can kind of just slot in there and out of the way. Now, you get an alternative pair of hands. You get this kind of semi-closed fist, and I absolutely love the kind of SWAT armour they've done it here. It's a really nice paint effect, making it look like black leather, with some fantastic detailing, even stitched seams along the glove. And this padded section, I honestly thought it was padded to look at, but it's not. It's just solid moulded plastic. You then get the more open, the kind of an open holding gun-ish hand. Again with this nice padded section on there, which it really does look like you could just push it in. And I don't know if I can just focus in on that detailing. Just look at this stitching on here. Like I said, they've really, really gone to town with the detailing on these gloves. Of course, this hand is designed to hold the grapple hook, and the finger sits really nicely there on the trigger. And the last accessory, and by no means least, is his Batarang. This is phenomenal. I thought it was metal when I got it out. It's really got that, I don't think the camera's capturing it very well, but it's really got that metal appearance to it, and these edges are really, really sharp. I mean, you have to be so careful with this. Unfortunately, it doesn't collapse like you got with the other Batarangs, although it does appear to look like it should do, but there's no way of collapsing. That will snap. And of course, this Batarang can be held in the other hand, like so. Well done, NECA. And now we come to the Batman himself. What a truly fantastic sculpt. The game, if you haven't already played it, is a must. It's probably one of the best Batman games I've played in a very, very long time. It's kind of dark, with a great storyline and a lot of gameplay. Taking a look at Batman's clothing, let's get in nice and close and let's focus in. Now, first of all, when I saw this guy in the packaging, I thought, oh, he's got no waist articulation at all. It doesn't, you know, it's just kind of this big solid lump. I was wrong. This entire section here is armour. This is armour, these are armour. I mean, everything stretches out, everything allows for really, really great movement. And it looks so good. It's kind of like a painted up SWAT armour, and got kind of like with a hint of bomb disposal in there. And it looks fantastic. You've got these really padded out muscles. Like I say, the shoulder pads can move up, down, in, out. This utility belt, it is amazing. The level of detail they've gone to on this is insane. Nothing can be removed though. That's a little shame. I'm not really sure, like with the hooks, and nothing clips in or out. I would have liked a little bit of movement, or maybe some of these could come undone. Maybe you can swap them and change them out, just to make it a little bit more unique. Taking a look around the back groin area, you've got this padded out thigh section, which looks like kind of like Kevlar. Going down, you've got these metal rivets, well, painted on rivets. They look so realistic. Getting this padding section all together. Go down to these kneecaps. Again, really, really nice. And then down to the boot area. I mean, they've even included the tread detailing on the boot. I mean, that is just attention to detail. Taking a look at that face sculpt, that is a brilliant expression on Batman's face. There's slight paint smearing underneath the nose there. That's a little disappointing there. But I love how sharp and pointed the top of the cowl is, where the ears are. It's nice that they've got the cowl kind of as two separate sections, as opposed to what they did with the Keaton Batman, where it was all one here and he couldn't move the head. I know that was movie accurate, and that was how Michael Keaton had to have it, but still, it's nice that they've kind of kept this very, very game accurate. Although I have seen somebody do a custom of this, where they painted up the eyes white, and they kind of darkened and gave him a kind of a 5 o'clock shadow for the face, and that really did accentuate that fantastic sculpt. For clothing and accessories, out of 10, I'd have to score those a good 7. I'd like to go higher, but unfortunately they do tend to impede the posability, which I'll cover shortly. But as for accuracy and likeness, I don't think NECA could have done any better. They've literally ripped this guy straight out of the video game. I'm going to give it a good 8.5. 9, 10, you know, they're perfect. I mean, this guy's not without his flaws. There is the slight paint defects. And I just how much the armour does impede the posability, I can't rate it any higher. Talking of posability, let's take a look at the articulation. Now, NECA have put all the right articulation in all the right places. You've got a really good looking up motion, a very good looking down motion there. That's stirred. Oh, I'm a Batman. Got left and right. This one isn't on a neck hinge. This is on a head hinge, so that seems to work a lot better with posing than it did, say, like the Captain America figure. You come around to the shoulders. You've got a fairly good up motion there. You've got forward and back. So the shoulder pads being on this elasticated thread means you get a really good range there. The bicep swivel is really nice. The elbow swivel is actually, there's a fake joint here. You think the elbow swivel would be there, where it's kind of painted on and cut in and sculpted, but it's not. It's actually below the elbow where the top of the gauntlet is, which is a really nice touch. The gauntlets themselves are phenomenal. Just look at those. And this is softy, so you don't have to worry about hurting yourself. Going around to the wrist, you have a pivot and a full 360 rotation. Coming around to the ab section. Now, remember I said you've got this armour on here, which is this kind of pliable, yet very, very firm plastic. You still got a swivel on the top there, but it is slightly hindered by this because it's kind of stretched across the top of the waist section, and you don't get a lot of movement there. Same with the kind of up and down rocker motion. You've kind of got this belt in the way, and it does hinder it. It doesn't really go down as far as I feel it should. Coming down to the thighs, you've got a good seated position there. They do come out a fair way, and you've got a lovely ratchet joint inside there. Coming down to the knee joints, you've got what would appear to be a double knee joint there, but just the way that they're kind of sculpted, and this armour here just gets in the way. You can't get full use of that double knee joint. It only bends the 90 degree, and it does really expose that kneecap joint. It just doesn't look very natural at all, in my opinion. Coming down to the feet, again, we have the problem with this fantastic sculpted armour. It really does impede how much movement you get on the foot. You can rock it up, you can rock it down, but the side-to-side movements and the pivot are really next to none, just due to the fact of this huge armour piece over the feet. Don't get me wrong, the boots are really big, and they will hold him upright. But I feel if they'd have made this plastic gauntlet thing over the feet a little bit more pliable, kind of a thinner plastic like they did with the chest plate, then you would get a much better range of motion with the feet. I just fear that the Batman's going to have a stand to keep him on the shelf. So all that being said, the articulation is there, it's just got that slight hindrance, so I'm going to have to score him a solid 8. Again, I know it's a high score, but it's all there, it's just restricted. What do we think about price, guys? NECA have put a lot of work and effort into this figure, and they've still managed to keep it within the general confines of their pricing scale. You're looking to pay around £80 for this figure. Unfortunately, the US will get it for about $80, but then, of course, if we get it shipped from the US, you get your customs fees, but blah, 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 blah. But £80 is a very good price for a lot of figure. You get the accessories, you get this big, bulking mass of a Batman whose presence on your display is easily an 8. I mean, he is going to be the centerpiece of my Batman collection. He'll stand proud and bold with the other NECA quarter scale figures. But for £80, you've got to be laughing, surely. I mean, the Hot Toys figures, yes, they're highly detailed. Yes, they're for adult collectors. I mean, but so is this. I mean, this sculpting is better than some of the stuff I've seen on some of the Enterbay figures at a fraction of the cost. I am really, really impressed. I mean, you know how much I love the NECA quarter scales, but this knocks the others out of the boat. I mean, it is by far my favourite of the quarter scale figures, and I've got a lot. I know my collection has grown substantially. And for the price, you've got to be scoring high. You've got to be giving this a 9 out of 10 for pricing. I mean, unless it was free, that's the only way it's going to be getting a 10. Here he is with the other Batman. He really is a hulking mass. Sorry, Keaton, you are no longer my favourite Batman. Thanks again to the guys at Direct Collectibles, part of the Keyboard Warriors group, and from myself and the almighty Origins Batman. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time, goodbye.